Okay, so what I was saying was that mindfulness, reading books, um, exercise, all these things have some benefit with where you are, who you are in this unit. But really, what you are is like the white light that's producing the body. So you look in the back of the white light from a projector and you find yourself. On the screen, which is the body and the circumstance, it's not really that deep. So you can kind of change things a little bit out here, which could be very helpful. Tai Chi for relaxation, read a book, mindfulness meditation. But if you want happiness, you want joy, you want profound things, then you're going to have to go beyond the level of the mind and the body and the energy. That means that this mind and this body, this mind, this body, it's limited. Like Einstein can't solve a problem, same level where it exists. You're going to have something beyond. So in nature, you have something beyond that's amazing. And then you come back to the same psychology, the same physiology, the same hormones, the same way you listen, same speech, because there's no psychology necessarily with nature, or it's not easily translated. That's why you have to have a person of extraordinary accomplishment called an enlightened person, like the writings of Buddha, the writings of Jesus, and different people in those categories, like Thich Nhat Hanh, different sort of ones, Amici. You'll come to understand that that's actually the only hope there is, because it's the only thing that transcends the mind, and it's got a face. So it talks to you, but it's not a person. It's some kind of a cosmic thing. That's the only deal that works.
Okay. Question, what I'm feeling today is, I feel like, yeah, that sometimes I just get like a tsunami of emotions, and I'm like, is it feeling like an emotion that's moving through? I don't know. It's not like I'm trying to figure it out, but it just feels really vulnerable. And
the limbic system is the center of the brain. The cortex and the rest of the brain is outside of the limbic system. Limbic system is right between your ears, where the ears and the eyes and the nose all kind of meet. That's emotion. Psychology tells you that emotion is governed by thought, and psychiatry tells you that emotion is governed by thought. Science tells you that emotion is governed by thought. They're all wrong. Thought is governed by emotion. The hardship of emotion is that you have a distortion, a disease, a dissymmetry, a disfigurement, and any really that you're just flat wrong. What I was saying with Lena was about education.
Yeah.
So if you know that there's these areas, what's education mean? Education means to educate these areas of yourself. So the problem with the emotion is you don't know if it's somebody else or if it's yourself. It's always yourself. There's no such thing of it being another person. So it's not like a wave of humanity that you're feeling in the world. No. That's just justification. So if you're like, completely enlightened and Miss Magic, which you are, then what are you going to have to understand about Satan? So, you can discern another person's behavior of the world and be like, oh my God, fuck off. How am I going to shield myself? Or you can discern another person's behavior, that their behavior or the world or something is different than the electricity that's fueling their life. And if I deny them the life that's coming through their personality, then I'm really lost. So if I discern their cortex and I discern their behavior and I say, oh, I have to shield myself, and oh, they're not enlightened and I am, you're really lost. Case in point, great story. I'll be saying this for years. So I'm trying to save money and all these kind of things because I'm going to Mexico in a week and a half. And I'm changing the differential oil. You know, I'm content to learn everything myself now. So I'm underneath the car and I'm changing something that a mechanic's supposed to do. And I break the wrench and I almost break the bolt, which means that some kind of expensive, godforsaken process has to happen to undo the bolt. All right. So now I'm looking for a wrench to try again because I broke mine. And who had the wrench? Only one of the most powerful, interesting figures in Crestone, total alcoholic, probably all kinds of drugs and everything. And, you know, has the pagan, which looks like a Satan symbol, but it's really pagan, you know, wears that sometimes. And very wild and, you know, kind of like the subculture of life, you know, that people would normally discard that I'm kind of fascinated with. That's the person that was my savior because he had this superpower wrench and I was able to fix it. So normally my mind would be saying, okay, they're different than me. They do drugs and they hurt people and whatever, you know? And I want to control them. Well, I'm wrong. So I had to spend the last couple of days in redefining my relationship with that person. Whatever, because I'm the head of the community watch, you know, and this is the culture of the bar and where the problems happen and the drugs and stuff that, you know, my conscious mind wants to say is wrong. But as you get more enlightened, you're going to have to question what's right and what's wrong and all that kind of stuff, you know, because you never know what person's doing. So that's the person that was my savior. Saved me God knows what kind of trouble and money. So I have to understand, what is he teaching me? How come that character had all the earth power, which a lot of times wild people, like streety people, you know, they have the earth power. Why do they have the earth power? What? Huh? What? So how come I don't have it there? And how come I wasn't conscious there? And I see my own body, and I see my own body as being deficient, as having holes, as having ignorances. So I have to honor the life and comply to the other person's presentation. Now, if you're a nice person like you and Lena, then you just get run over all the time. So that causes more confusion. You don't have to be mean and destroy stuff. Spiritual people generally don't respect the world of destruction or the world of evil. But that's not a really enlightened person. Otherwise, the immune system wouldn't function, you know. So when you start to calm down your mind and release your emotional toxicity, you're able to enter a super slow down process where you see life as one white light, lots of movie characters. It's all one white light. So you think you're in the movie. You think you only identify with the hero, not the villain. You know, you only identify with the maiden and not the store clerk or whoever you identify with. But it's one white light is coming from. That is enlightenment. Then you're on the good terms with the devil, with the angels, with the demons. You're on good terms with all of it. And a path is made for you. Wherever you go, whatever you do, you got magic. So if you're confused about emotions and where's it coming from and it's him and it's the world and everything, no, it's you. It's your fault.
Well, I do. I think that's part of the. I don't know even know how to describe it. Like I realize it's myself. or a lot of things I see in myself, right? And then I just get upset at myself, and I'm like, is that the process? Is that what needs to happen here? And I get upset because I can't fix myself.
Yeah.
And
Welcome to my life. Endless torture.
yeah, so I guess I'm just gonna say it out loud. I don't think there's an answer, right? But so I'm, I still have issues with Sunny, our dog, and I'm out walking, and I'm like, we're just gonna go over here, and we're not gonna say hello, and that's fine. And then this beautiful, beautiful, kind, loving soul was like, it's you, it's your fear, right? And I was like, yeah, I, I'm aware of that. We're working on it, right? Um, which is true.
The next time he says that, say, up your ass, as a response. Because the more in you are, the more that everybody's got the solution for your problems.
Yeah.
But it's not that easy, because you're dealing with a deeper dog and a deeper you and a deeper world than that fucknut who said it's you and your fear. Well, then have him take the dog for the walks, and let's see him fix it in a week. So there's the understanding that there's no solution and the torture of it. And I said to Lena, I said, people have always called me a tortured soul. And I said to her, I'm totally tortured, mentally tortured every fucking day of my life. I said, I want to be healed. I want to be healed. That's what I want. I want to be done with this shit. And unless you realize that, like they say in Zen, jushaku, which means life is an endless series of mistakes. Unless you realize that that's the road you're on, in the negative sense, you have no chance to self-reinvent and become magic and become wonderful. So if you think that you're going to get healed, or you're going to get over it, or you're going to get it right, that's the whole problem. You have no hope of getting over it. And that's where I'm ahead of other people. You guys, maybe you just don't know that you're fucked yet. Me, I realize it because I'm going day and night for 100 years trying to heal myself. And no matter what I do, nothing works. No matter how smart and strong and whatever I get compared to others, or how much change, it's still the exact same thing all the time. The same bad behaviors come out, the same stuff that's part of my genetics. But on the good side of it, I become more magic as a way of life. My life becomes, all the time, I become more magic, basically. 3 months, 6 months, 1 year. You'll watch it happen to me again, if you haven't watched it already, where I become like a new person and more magic. So that's, consolation prize. But as far as being done with it, or being done with the failure or something, it's impossible. So it means that you've got to have some type of immaculate grace that you can return to, that's non-cognitive. So that's a rule of the game. You have to write it down. It's a principle. It's like a roadmap. You can't understand it. You say, I'm going to return to feeling loved, feeling cared about, feeling heard. I'm going to choose that. It doesn't matter how bad I just did it 2 minutes ago, or how I never get it right, or how I can't control my dog. And this other guy, he obviously could perfectly do it all better than me. Doesn't matter. I'm going to rest my mind.
I think what I really appreciate, one of the many things I appreciate, is just the acceptance piece. I'm like, why can't other people just accept? And I guess need to accept that not everybody's going to accept it, but I'm really thankful that you accept me for things and me.
Anybody that doesn't accept you,
yeah,
in my discernment, in my opinion, and of course I could be wrong because I don't know what an evil witch you really are, but in my in my discernment, in my opinion, anybody that doesn't accept you and give you grace, they are headed for trouble, man. They're going to get it up the pooper. They're headed for trouble because your conscious mind is so active that you actually don't know how valuable you are and how wonderful you are. But actually, you're very valuable and you're very wonderful and you're very evolved. But that's hard for you to understand because your mind is too active. You're an intellectual, like us, intellectual. But that needs to, you need to fix that. Well, in the world of intellectuals, that you need to fix that. Yeah. And see, so the polarity of intellectual versus emotion means the emotion gets starved and the emotion becomes bipolar. So first of all, everybody's an intellectual, and that's the kind of like the evil of humanity, because what's happened is the emotions then try to have a depth of polarity enough to calm the intellectualism, and the emotions for the human race are just bipolar. There's no emotional coherence at all. There's some intellectual coherence, but it's not directed towards the self. It's directed towards making a widget or understanding another person or something out there. I don't know what out there means, but the emotions are starved and bipolar. So you can resolve that by, you devote your whole life. That's all. And then it still doesn't work, but it's a step better.
Well, I don't know words. I don't know. I'm not even gonna go there. There's there's an element of faith that is real, that I really appreciate in
Yes.
trying.
Tell me. Thoughts, fine.
Yeah.
I'm not saying, and remember, every time you get a lesson, I'm going to say the opposite right after, just so you know. So I'm not saying don't have intellectualism, don't have clear thought. When it's pure thought, when it's genius thought, when it's, genuine thought, now you're talking thought. So I don't want you to question the whole world of thought, but I want you to try to learn to moderate it. And when you have this idea of genuine expression, just because nobody can understand you and nobody keep up with you when you get that deep, that ain't me. So let it fly.
Well, sometimes right now, for example, I don't have any words to express what I'm feeling or what I'm thinking. Other times it's super incredibly clear. But right now I just feel not thoughtless, but a little bit blank, a little bit.
Thank God. How's your boyfriend?
Good.
When's he gonna marry you?
we,
No. Ring 2,200 minimum number right here.
oh, that's awkward.
Let's go. Tell him you're almost old and dead. What are you gonna do?
No. I don't even know how to begin to explain that. But we have an anniversary coming up, a very big anniversary. Yeah.
That's a good thing.
Yeah. So so we've been together for 20 years, going on 20 years.
So where's the diamond?
Well, I'm not a diamond girl. He
Okay.
found a little heart rock. That's my style.
Okay, go with gold.
Go with gold. I'll show you. Oh, maybe it's not even here. It's in the other room.
See?
Anyway, I'm thankful because we're learning a lot from each other. We're still learning a lot, and we're loving a lot, and we're feeling a lot, and we're growing a lot, and we're laughing a lot.
Oh, that's fun.
And I'm crying a lot. He's not really a crier. I'm more the crier.
Okay.
But I'm just very thankful. Because he doesn't need, the good thing now is he doesn't get me and he doesn't need to get me, but he gets that the process is what's working for me. I don't know. He's like, perfect. You just keep doing whatever you need to do.
Yeah.
And he'll listen to my heart and not need to fix it. I was like, you don't need to fix it. I just need to share with you what's my heart.
That's a great dynamic with men and women. Men, have the solution or have the fix.
Yeah.
Great thing to remind me of, and all that there really is no fix here. I do a lot of things to fix Lena's stuff.
Yeah.
Like she got this camera between our friend and myself. We bought her a camera.
Okay.
And she's really into taking pictures, and brand new, super camera. She dropped it. and now the person and myself who purchased through him, and I sent him some money. He just couldn't deal with it. And I'm on the phone with trying to get a replacement camera for an hour, and I've got it all figured out. And I finally got it. They're going to replace the camera. And he said, no, call Canon. So then at the end of that, I'm like, why am I fixing this? Why am fixing everything all the time? What's going on there? And why am I putting up with this friend of mine who goes through all of these? He can't hear me. A lot of times I talk and people can't hear me. I've noticed there's some weird dimensional difference between me and a lot of people sometimes, that if I call on the phone and talk, so they actually can't hear me. It's something paranormal and weird. Anyway, he couldn't understand the process I'd just been through. And I said, here's what we got to do. They're going to send me a camera. I'll send this one back. And he's like, no, call Canon. They're really nice people. See what they have to say. I'm like, so sure enough, turns out that he was flat wrong, of course, because calling camera did nothing. Calling Canon. And I already went through the hour-long process with Amazon and everything. But it's an interesting fixing thing. It's kind of like the vagina and the penis. I'm going to go in there. That's the man towards the woman, I think, in the traditional roles. That's why they kind of like want to fix it or have this projection or something. I don't know, but it's learning to, understand what is my role. Why do I want to fix everything all the time? Does that make me feel good as a man? Does that help my ego to fix stuff for people? I'll tell you one thing for sure. I'm not fixing anybody or anything coming up here after some time. You, a few other people, whatever, be around. But besides that, the whole world can take a hike. I had enough. That's the way it goes. The surface programs, whatever, but I'm going to be in a mountain, in a cave, or, something different. It's kind of a different thing. Because I realized that my fixing everything is a problem in my mind. Anyway, now, TENS 5's customized is the structural thing that allows you to come to the realization of my favorites list and the stuck spot. And then science tells you, oh, am I meditating deeper? Am I maturing emotionally and behaviorally or not? The hardest thing is, yeah, go ahead.
Oh,
Sorry.
I was just going to say, it was just a beautiful reminder to go back to doing more fives, because the other day I was feeling really emotional and just, I think dissociative is the right word, and I don't do it on purpose, but yeah. So I wrote down like that COVID is real, because in my mind it's I don't know.
COVID, you said?
Yeah. Because I live in like this bubble where I'm at my home, and then I'm on the nature trail, and then I'm at work. And yes, it's real there, but it's not really, it's a very controlled environment where I work right now. So emotions are real, but everything that's the amount of people that are affected by it and what it's doing to like the world essentially hasn't really percolated yet, But
well, let me save you. Let me say it for you. Danielle, Andrea, everybody, no COVID, no COVID shots, no. And boy, you guys are really going to get your ass kicked. You're really going to get your ass smacked by life for playing around like that. Because, you know, you cannot be so unaware of conflict and disease, stuff like that, that you're going to allow your mind to deny that in multiple hospitals around the world, the body bags were overflowing outside.
Yeah.
What kind of a person are you to say that COVID's not real and that this, you know, what are you,
Oh.
are you, I'm just saying.
But I just want to say that I wasn't saying that it's.
Well, it was being extreme to do with like Andrea and Danielle and other people, but I think it relates to you some, and I was just being extreme to make a point for you. It's serious stuff.
Thank you.
Yeah. The old people are just dead. You know, it doesn't matter, you know, if you say, well, natural selection or, you know, people get viruses or whatever. No, if the COVID gets the old person, the chances of them dying and being dead and it's decimated old age homes and hospitals is really high. And you just have no business ignoring that. And luckily, I can say that to you, but I can't say that to Andrea, Danielle, a bunch of other people. They, for some reason, there's something that says, well, it's not that real for me, so I shouldn't get a shot because that's going to make me grow an alien tail, and it destroys my immune system. The conspiracy mind accelerates the more that you can't face disease, violence, death. I said to Lena this morning, it's such an amazing thing that in the world, facing conflict is like the deepest spiritual practice, disease and conflict. And you can see by how police, you know, the cowardly response of police shooting people all the time, which to me is just like, I wouldn't shoot that person. You shot that person? And, you know, and there's this giant people and the guy's got to, I mean, it's beyond reason. When you start to have, it's just like the COVID, it's really beyond reason. There's a point now in humanity where people are either becoming psychotic in their, oh my God, you're killing all these people and now I'm going to rage against you, or victimization, like the world's going crazy, I don't know what to do. To deal with such deep things like COVID or police shootings in America, and to be sane and to face it requires a strength that for some reason is not around much. Or, you know, like this person that saved me with the wrench, you know, to have the personal courage to honor him, to like him, to enjoy him, to appreciate him, you know, it changed my whole mind towards a greater swath of people, criminals and police, for example. I have a different sort of strength and compassion towards those sections of people because they're both just so misunderstood and they can't understand. The lady shot the other person. I don't know if you ever see the news, another killing the other day, and they have it on TV, and it's a skinny little black kid, you know, happens to be black. But, you know, one of the things they said in the church was, you don't see them shooting white people. Why is that? So there's this whole thing, racism and genders and women's right, man's right. And that's why you must have darshan. You must get beyond the mind, because your initial reaction to so many of these things is very, very skewed. You initially have a react towards men. You initially have a reaction towards violence. You initially have a reaction towards drug users. You initially have a reaction towards dishonesty. That polarity is the disease of the mind. Mm-hmm. Only if you get darshan, which means divine, supernatural, miraculous intervention, or you know, being loved in a profound level and very strong. Only if you get that with people, that's called sages, can you start to rethink your belief systems and realize that, oh my God, my belief system must be more wrong than I have any clue. So it's easier then to have a life of devotion, discovering how wrong you are. But from the point of grace, from the point of, well, I could be punished for not being good enough. I understand that because nature naturally punishes disease and wrong. I don't understand what the future is, but at least I'll be transparent right now and say, I don't know, I'm confused, I have a problem and I need your help. As soon as you find that, that's it. You've got magic. Because you got to remain broken. It says it right there, stay broken. That's a great.
I'm writing that one down.
Yeah, stay broken. That's magic, I'll tell you that one. And for people that would then have this whole conversation, which would be the general public, what does that mean? Don't you get healed? Don't you get? I like hardly even have a problem to engage that response. I don't have the intelligence to be that nice. I know that they're just asking me, like you might have asked me many months ago, that seems defeatist, you know. That seems like, you know, you're just going to be like Danielle said one time, and she was right. I had to address it. She's like, well, God, I'm just so depressed. I'm never going to be healed. I'm never going to be right. Well, that's not what happens when you're broken open. When life gives you enough realization that you're broken open and you sob and things like that. Now you have magic. It automates magic because everybody loves that. If you're tender and you're transparent, the butterfly lands on you then. The cat comes up and nuzzles on you then. The dog comes and licks you then. All of this life and regeneration and healing is automated from staying broken open. It is the most insane temptation, infuriating thing you could ever do. But if you do it, that's the power that happens next, makes you a new person. So now it's like you transcend mommy, daddy, sister, brother, the world. So your confidence level skyrockets because you know that you know. You realize that you understand more and that you're more intelligent when it comes to the relative stuff. And so you have an unshakable confidence in some level of your person at that point. Because you went up, insect, animal, human, divine, you know, you went up a little bit. Now you're going to go back down, okay. But you know that you went up. You know that you got some magic in there.
I think what happens is when you go up, then you forget, like you said, you forget, right? Then you come back down, you're like, oh, that feels uncomfortable, and that I wish I could navigate this differently. But that's when the acceptance and the surrender piece comes back, and the
fighting.
Oh,
fighting.
Yeah.
Gravity.
Yeah.
Dynamism, conflict, spin, magnetism. They're all connected. Here's a sheet of space-time. The coffee stain. Space-time is how the universe rolls. It's not called space. It's called space-time. It's a sheet of paper. Space is a sheet of paper, but it's not space. It's space-time. Now, a planet, the sun, a supermassive black hole, a moon, that sits on the sheet of paper called space-time. Our Earth, the sun, everything, it's sitting on a piece of paper. The sun has its sheet of paper, the Earth has its sheet of paper. It's kind of like infinite sheets of paper, I guess. And a planet, a moon, and anything, a meteor, an asteroid, it warps space-time. The more dense the planet, like a sun compared to the Earth, maybe it just sits a little bit, puts a little gravity. The sun really gets in there. That's nothing compared to a supermassive black hole. The more the gravity, the more the spin. That's what makes planets spin around like, you know, the satellites and asteroids and whatever spin around the planet Earth. Well, the planet Earth is spinning around the sun. The greater the gravity, the more the attraction and the spin. The more the attraction and the spin, the more the magnetism. So when you come down from meditation, after you go up, you know, 0, 1, 2, 3, ABC. ABC is rooting, blooming, printing. When you come down, you have to face conflict. That's called fighting. If you don't realize that, then you don't realize the material universe. Because the material universe, which is your body, your listening, your speech, your thoughts, it all exists in conflict. So when you come down from meditation, you have to be ready for negative, neutral, and positive. Negative means there's a mutual disease dynamic between us. And I have to accept my role of being humbled in how you expose my negative stuff or disease stuff. Neutral means you're doing your thing, I'm doing my thing, whatever. Positive means there's certain inputs that you're supposed to give to me to help my evolution. There's certain inputs that I'm supposed to you to help your evolution. That's animation. So positive, negative, and neutral, that makes a battery. And that's what you are. You're a battery. And in the battery that you are, there's all kinds of configurations. So a battery or energy is automatically in conflict. Negative, positive. So as soon as you enter the physical world, you're in conflict. So you're trying to bring the spirit into the negative, neutral, positive of your person and make corrections. And in your relationship, make your corrections in your and healings in yourself and in others. And as you become more coherent, you become a different sort of magnetism. You become a self-sourcing loop of magnetism in science called Meissner magnetism. So now you're not as tied into the sea of psychic magnetism polarity between yourself and other people. That would be one cycle of evolution of applying what you gain spiritually to your mind and your body and your listening and your speech. And you realize that it's an infinite proposition, that you're not going to come down from spirit and work on yourself and develop so much coherence that you're done with conflict. You can only see that and understand that as the direction of enlightenment, and you're on the path. But you don't have any realization of that, only in cycles. Mm-hmm. So if you cycle down from meditation and you say, oh, there's this aspect of relationship between me and my boyfriend, and I'm going to work on this aspect, and you work on it for you and him, and you guide him, now you're in a different level of coherence. So you've evolved. You're still going to cycle up to heaven and cycle down to hell again until you're done with your education here.
Thank you. I know you, yeah. You've explained that to me like a lot of times, but I appreciate, well, not the same way, but I like the hope that it's sinking in some, a little bit.
Hasn't worked for me, so good luck. It just doesn't, we don't do that. See, remember, completion delusion is it's automatically, we go to completion delusion, you know. When am I going to learn it? When am I going to understand it? It's just total fantasy world. That's why an enlightened person is extraordinarily humble. And I'm obviously not an enlightened person, because they realize that this is always more vast than I had any idea. I'm always more wrong than I had any idea. And I'm always more right than I had any idea. I'm always more diseased than I had any idea. I'm always more healthy than I had any idea. I'm always dumber than I had any idea. I'm always smarter than I had any idea. There's no comment or understanding that you make. That's why, you know, the Tao, they says the enlightened person doesn't know. They're simple like an uncarved block of wood, shapeable, receptive like a grandmother, careful as the walking on newly frozen ice, hesitant as of danger on all sides, because all of heaven and all of hell is yet to be experienced. Now, how much of hell and how much of heaven have you experienced? I haven't experienced any of them in any measure whatsoever. I don't know about you, but I don't think I've experienced. That's the attitude you should have.
I'll be right back.
Oh, it's non-cognitive, folks. Non-cognitive, following particular maps. Wise people have the maps, not you. You figure that out, you get your first. If you don't figure that out, you know less than nothing. And that's not necessarily a good thing. Okay, video's off. Let's lengthen the breath now. Watch what happens when you make contact with the real thing. Step one is that you're breathing into releasing stuff from your body mind, not just your brain, but different areas in your physiology. You're discharging toxicity. So you should feel it like the release of some kind of diseased air in your body. You can feel it. And everybody has so much of this, more than we can access. The problem in step one is accessing the stuff that's in the body mind and letting the vibe of it come out. Like the phrase, it's okay, you can let it out now. And breathe into it. supposed to be uncomfortable the first step. Don't go right to the second step and release everything. Stay in the first step for now. Find out, remember that dynamic between you and the other person or the emotional overwhelm, and feel where it is in your body. Begin to release it. Lengthen the breath now that some stuff has come out. Go to step 2. In step 2, you're being worked on by outside influences. Great contact, darshan. Like an inner surgery is happening. The intervention of darshan is going in there and cleaning things and cutting things and repairing things and recreating new neural roots, lancing areas that are shut off. It's just like surgery, really. Reconstructing, reforming. Bad stuff goes out of you onto Jesus or whatever point of contact you want. That's called substitution in Christianity. It means Jesus takes out the bad vibe and bears it on his body. Sanctification means you're cleaned. Justification means you're justified. No matter what you think about yourself or what others say about yourself. Anointed means you're given a gift of power. Longer breath. Davy, Davy, oh my Davy, I find you. Davy, Davy, oh my Davy, 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 oh my Davy. Only one name on my breath. Ah, Davy, Davy, whoa, my Davy. Davy, Davy, whoa, my Davy. Only one name on my breath. Davy, Davy, oh, my Davy. Davy, Davy, oh, my Davy.
What do I do? Oh, my dear
Davy,
God, that was supposed to glory.
drop your head into your hands. Longer breath.
What do I
Heavier body.
Oh, my dear Mary, God, that was supposed to glory. Everywhere I look, I find you. All that I hear is the sound of you. Only when you hold my breath.
Davy, Davy,
Oh, my baby.
Davy, Davy.
Oh, my baby. Everywhere I look,
I find you.
all that I hear is the sound of you. Only one name on my breath.
Davy, Davy.
Oh, my baby. Oh, my baby. Do you let me? Oh, my dear baby. You can never leave my mind.
Davy,
Oh, you let me. Oh, my dear
Davy,
you can never leave my mind.
my mind.
You are inside of me.
Davy.
You are inside of me. Each and every beat of my heart. Each and every beat of my heart. Everywhere I look, I find you. All that I hear is the sound of you. Only when you hold my breath.
Oh, my Davy, 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 oh, my Davy. I find you. All that I hear is the sound of you. Only one name on my breath. Davy. is the art of boring. No skill ever happens without the art of boring. Now we know that about getting a degree. We know that about learning the protocols for a job or adapting to some new routine or way of doing things. When the job says you have to change this, we have no problem to ingrain the new pattern. How much more important it is for facing yourself. As I posted in the group, Dogen Zenji said, to study the Buddha way is to study the self. To study the self is to forget the self. To forget the self is to be actualized by myriad things. When actualized by myriad things, your body and mind, as well as the body and minds of others, drop away. No trace of enlightenment remains. And this no trace continues endlessly. I mean, that's some serious brilliance here. You see it in the group after Babaji, Babaji, Babaji. So, no skill happens without the art of boring. You'll notice how effective this music is, and she's doing the same verse over and over and over. It's the same backbeat. La, 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 la. Begin to make your way towards step 3. Now in step 3, you have step 1 functioning still, where there's this revealed distortion disease and so forth. And the slowdown is present by darshan, influencing your systems. Ma, 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 ma. Ma, ma, ma. Babaji, 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 yeah. Meditation's like going to sleep. Just go to sleep. Lay down on your back now, please. Oh.
Everywhere I do, all that I hear is sound of you. Only when you hold my breath.
Ah, Devi, Devi, oh my Devi, 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 oh my Devi. I find you. All that I hear is the sound of you. Only when they all my breath. Oh my
Everywhere I look, all
All that I hear is the sound of you
only when you
on my breath. Devi, Devi, oh my Devi, 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 oh my Devi. All that I hear is the sound of you. Only one name on my breath. Devi, Devi.
what do I do? Oh, my dear,
Devi.
your love has brought you glory.
Devi.
What have I done? Oh, my dear,
Devi.
your love has brought you glory.
more that you can just start over and give time to your search for what meditation is and personal healing, the better your future will be. So find step 3 now. Step 3 is sighs of relief and natural pauses. Only one name. Ah, Devi, Devi, oh, my Devi, oh, my Devi. My mind, my mind, Devi, my mind, Devi, ma, 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 ma. Everywhere I look, I find you. On my breath, Davy, Davy, oh my Davy, 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 oh my Davy. Of you, only one name on my breath, Davy, Davy, oh my Davy. The soulgasm of transcendence happens when there's inner listening and inner looking. And brainstem convergence. It happens from the miracle streams. These sounds, these vibes, these sights, these scents. All of these things received creates brainstem convergence. And then in yoga, they call it yoga Amrita, and in Qigong, golden pollen, and in Tibetan Buddhism, Dutsi. Sweet taste in the mouth. Hormonal nectar. That should well up onto transcendence. The soulgasm. That should be felt. Ma, 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 ma. Ma, ma, ma. Ma, 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 ma. Ma, 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 ma. Sighs of relief, natural pauses is the instruction in step 3. And what happens is you cycle back to step 1 and you go back to step 2 where the breath becomes longer and you find step 3 again. So step 3 contains step 2 and step 1 as cycling back to them. And to start over again and give more time to have the body become more relaxed, heavier, with more hormonal nectar. The more that you do this, the more that you have miracles. You find your way then, after you kind of start over, to slow down and lengthen everything again and let time and place and relationships be dissolved. now you have some awareness of stabilizing what's gained in form. That means your relationships, your job, that environment, those walls, that dog. Heavier body, new level of body being heavier and more relaxed. Ma, 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 ma. Ma, ma, ma. Ma, ma, ma. Ma, 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 ma. Now you should be in the place where no thought, and then you come back to your body now and then and face relationship and work and world and COVID and self, and you give a little bit of download time in the middle of it all. On my breath, Davy, Davy, oh my Davy, 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 oh my Davy. I find you, the sound of you, only one name. Oh my Davy, 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 oh my Davy. I find you, only one name on my breath. Davy, Davy, oh my Davy, 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 oh my Davy. I find you, only one name on my breath. Davy, Davy, oh my Davy, Davy, Davy. Davy, Davy, my heart, my heart. I find you is the sound of you, only one name on my breath. Davy, Davy, oh my Davy, 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 oh my Davy. After a while of no breathing, pausing, being too much transcendent, you want to go back to step one and find out the new route between yourself and that emotion that you had before in the emotional wave. Find it in your biology, start to breathe into it again. Breathe into at least 10 breaths. Devi. Worship is bringing up the negative stuff and yearning like the flower yearning for the sun. The sound of you, only one name on my breath. Davy, Davy, oh my Davy. Davy, Davy, oh my Davy. So you forget people, places, and things. You forget life. You forget everybody. You abandon yourself and you abandon them. That's the only chance you've got to make the relationship great and whatever else you need to improve. It all depends on finding real step 3 and then bringing that step 3 experience into dynamism, gravity, electricity, magnetism, and spin. The missing piece is bringing it into dynamism, gravity, and spin. Everybody gets enlightened when they go to sleep. The idea is, how do you change this physiology, this life, this genetic, this person, this circumstance? You got to surrender to the Atma, surrender to how each person is love. That's the idea around here. That is a lot different than trying to prove yourself over someone or individuate yourself or be special. Surrender to the fact that God is love, universe is love, nature is love, and people are love, including you. Primarily you, I guess you could say. You have to have the primarily because you're in the matrix, and the duality means you've got to know yourself first here. Ma, 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 ma. 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 Ama. Ma. Ma. Finally, you become surrendered to everybody, everything, everywhere. And you're able to see, like, the boyfriend coming home if he's not home now. You're able to see that because that's what's at play. And by seeing it at play now, by seeing what's at play now, you begin to change reality because everybody else is distracted. The people at work don't do this. The boyfriend doesn't do this. So that's what it means to live third eye open. You have enough support to live third eye open. So you start to see reality of what's at play within yourself. By seeing what's at play, you can heal yourself, you can change yourself, because you know that, oh, as soon as I see this person in my mind's eye, it pops my bubble, and my disease, distortion, ignorance, uneducation is just there. So you can begin to form the new education, form the new communication now, prior to personalities, prior to forms. That's the all important piece of meditation that everybody seems to not know about, is that you ground yourself after meditation. You face with all of these people here, and you find the pure dynamic. In other words, their love communicating, everybody is life communicating, and you tap into that, join with that, and then the dynamics of your psychology, their psychology, you begin to make adaptations in your approach, in how your software program is engaging their software program. Primarily, it's your family of origin that you need to do that with. Then from that, it's the key relationships, then whoever's prominent in your life, whatever's at play, then neighbors.
Everywhere I look, I find you.
Ma, 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 ma. Ma, 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 ma. Ma. And you're like, okay, I give up. I'm gonna go be a slave. make the dinner, sweep the floor, fix the car, pet the cat. I'm going to be the last one in all creation. Back to slavery I go. And that is a full cycle of training. When you go back into you're sweeping the floor and getting ready to receive whomever and whatever duty, it's very non-cognitive. It's just do your job. Oh, ma, 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 ma. Oh, ma, 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 ma. And if you're very relaxed and you found yourself getting miracles, then you realize that that's sucking the earth. You're cleaving to the earth. The earth is the density, the gravity part of being able to create new neurology and new tendrality, your connections in space in the psychic field. The earth is a heavy body like heavy sleep. I'm just going to sign off now, and I'm going to let you just stay in that. Usually I'd make you get up and dance and say, no, just stay there and rest yourself. Love you very much, and we will see you next time. Blessings.
Thank you.
Yes. Stay meditating, please. Stay meditating a while, okay?
Okay.
Okay.